Alrighty, good evening ladies and gentlemen, this is Hairy Muppet. Welcome back to another Hairy Masters cast. I was supposed to be casting it this weekend, technically I still am because it is Sunday evening, but I got so sidetracked by a whole bunch of things and I ended up playing Prison Architect most of the afternoon, which, if you haven't played it, really good game. They just added like a whole bunch of things like Alpha 35 or something like that, but anyway, I don't know if they're ever going to go to the beta or they're just going to keep releasing more alpha versions over and over again. But anyway, very awesome game. And they got Death Row in there now, which is tons of fun. So, anyway, let's go ahead and start looking at the game. Down the bottom left side of the map, it is Mr. MC, 23 years of age, from South Korea, plays for the Trig Esports team, which is pretty awesome. He's getting a nice expansion down there. But the other guy is way ahead of him in terms of expansions. It is Mr. MMA, 26 years of age, from South Korea, plays for Team Acer, is also associated with SBENU on his profile page, which is quite interesting. Not sure what that is. Maybe some sort of sponsorship deal. Yeah, something like that. But anyway, looks like it's going to be pretty awesome. So he's got the expansion out nice and early. He's got the bunker coming up. He's got an early barracks with the early reactor on the barracks, which of course, yeah, it's not quite as good as building a second barracks early on to get those Marines out, I don't think, but it's still pretty damn good. I think it's approximately the same. You don't have the second barracks, of course, but you do have a reactor which you can put the factory onto straight away as soon as you're finished building Marines. So that's pretty awesome stuff. He's going to have more than enough to send out there and chuck in the bunker. Meanwhile, MC just about to finish this off. We still got he's got the orbital built up there. So MMA definitely going to have, or try and get a nice lead. Of course, he's going to have to deal with the chrono boost on the worker population coming out, which, oh bloody earth, I forgot to close that down. Whoops. So we know exactly how long the game is going to last for now, if you were paying attention, which hopefully you weren't. But anyway, that doesn't matter. As you probably could have told, I don't know what the grammar is for that. You could have, it's like if you can tell, but in the past tense, if you could have told, if you could have in the past could tell. I don't know what the grammar for that is. I don't think there is a grammar equivalent. I don't think there is an equivalent for could tell in the past. Could have told? Is that a word? T-O-L-N? You could have told? I don't know. I really don't. But anyway, it's hilarious trying to get this thing to work. So, we've got a nice base out. We've still got a nice lead from here, from Mr. MC. Getting those workers out, chrono boosting them out. He's got Blink on the way and he's building up quite a decent amount of stalkers, 5 stalkers so far. He's going to keep pushing them out. Got 2 more gateways on the way. All of the stalkers that have come out so far have just been off a single gateway, which is very nice. So now the pressure is going to start to build and he should be up, I don't know, 8, 9 stalkers or something he'd probably go in with in a matter of a minute or so. Going with the Blink, jump up here, see what he can do. There are Widow Mines, but he's actually going to unburrow this Widow Mine, which is quite unfortunate. Where is the air scouting though? Because he'd love to blink up here, but he needs some kind of vision to get up there. So it looks like the observer coming out of the robotics facility may be what he needs, but of course the mothership core is already out there, so he needs to start moving that out if he's going to be doing some sort of fancy stuff. But unbeknownst to him, or maybe he's expecting it, MMA does have Widow Mines and is fully prepared for the potential blink action which could come up. So MC already counted to some degree before he even starts going out there, and he's not actually moving out with this attack. So he's got the blink, he's got the stalkers, he is maybe waiting for an observer, not 100% sure, but for now he's just going to be sitting back, relaxing, and yeah, taking it easy. Not really going to push up and try and make something happen. He seems to be relatively happy with staying back here, and he may be actually being worried a little bit about drops at the moment. It looks like he is. Moving those stalkers back there, getting a little bit worried about drops. There are a couple of medevacs moving out there, so very nice. MC, I don't know if he would have scouted those. I don't believe so, but he does have some idea. that a drop may have been coming. Although the drop is sort of falling back here actually and not really pushing out. Maybe just doing a bit of a round scout and maybe just going in for the other angle, and it looks like the other angle is where it is going to go. The observer moving up, maybe hoping to catch somebody thinking about a drop, but is not going to be able to see these guys. Marine moving out. Both players just being very touchy-feely at the moment, trying to go out there, trying to see what's going on. And here we go, we get a very, very nice stim, and against Zealots and Sentries, these guys are going to be doing a very, very good job with some great force fields, trapping these guys, and they are going to have to lift up in the medevac and run away. So it was looking a bit dangerous for MC there. Zealots and Sentries, of course, not very good against Stim Marauders and Stim Marines, but the force fields doing a very, very nice job and forcing MMA to sort of back off there. So we'll just have to see what he thinks here. He might be able to go back for the actual drop, but no, not the Stalkers. The Stalkers are over here, just sort of running around, and the Zealot Sentry over here waiting for the drop to go down. But killing a Marine over there, very, very nice. And is still just very touchy-feely with these guys at the moment. Just sort of wondering what they're going to be able to do. So we've got the High Templar tech coming out. We've got the Ghost tech coming out as well. We've already got a starport with a reactor. Obviously building a couple of Vikings, one Viking so far, not all that much. But we don't exactly have a ton of Colossus coming out either. No doubt MC will be getting a Robotics Bay if he hasn't already got one, which he doesn't look like he has. But we'll be getting one of those at some point in the future. And then the Colossus will start to come out, but has chosen to go for the High Templar earlier in this game. Because normally the Protoss go for the Colossus and then they go for the High Templar. And MC is going for the High Templar first, maybe hoping to surprise MMA. MMA does not look surprised at all. He's going for a ton of Ghosts. I don't know if he's actually scouted. He has not scouted the High Templar, but maybe just the absence of Colossus on this map, with all this poking and prodding of MC's army, is enough of an indication that he is not facing Colossus. So there we go. We've got the Ghost coming out, and here we go. MC has seen these Ghosts now, so knows that MMA is fully aware of his plan to get the High Templar out there. And yeah, so that would be pretty awesome. Continuing to build High Templar. So either he didn't realize that there were Ghosts out on the map, or he's confident enough in his High Templar play that he doesn't care if there are Ghosts out on the map. So he's not going to switch over to Colossus straight away or anything like that. And in fact, I'm very, very surprised that we are not seeing a single Robotics Bay on the map. Of course, he'd only be building one, but surprised that he hasn't built one yet. Because, I mean, High Templar, they're great, but you've got to have a combination of a whole bunch of different things, because you know they're going to get counted. Here we go, decent force here, but MMA has a ton of stuff, and sorry, MC has a ton of stuff, and MMA is going to be getting the hell out of there. Does manage to save most of those units, although yes, looks like the medevacs are going to be getting away. So very, very nice pick up there, and MMA just moving out with a small force, managed to run into the main army of MC and did get owned quite badly. What do we got here? 2 armor versus 1-1 for MMA. Income wise, they're both pretty close, but MMA has been pushing out a little bit harder on the workers, and it looks like MC has fallen back, but he is still building workers with this third base in mind, so that should be pretty awesome. And at the 16-minute mark, we may potentially be seeing our first major engagement. So both players been a little bit, not really going out, not really doing a lot here, but we got a great opportunity here. He thought about going in and killing those Widow Mines. He thought he had time, but apparently he did not, and he decided to fall back instead. Beautiful scan. MC is going to be running here. He's probably wishing he had a Mothership Core at this point. Beautiful storms though, so he is going to be able to buy himself some time with those storms, hopefully, but he is going around here. Could easily get overrun by MMA if MMA moves around and cuts him off, but it's a little bit hard to cut those guys off because of course he does have to be very, very careful of the storms. He does have Ghosts in there though. The Ghosts are moving out, putting EMPs everywhere they can. We're not seeing storms on Mr. MMA's army, so it looks like those EMPs did do the job that they were supposed to do. The Zealots getting in nice and close though, and MMA is starting to feel those blades. is going to be falling back. Obviously, those zealots just a little bit too much. Knocks out the rocks as he gets up to the top. Beautifully, beautifully executed there. And it does buy himself a little bit of time. But MC is on the attack right here. Running his zealots into some widow mines. Boom! A whole bunch of them just got killed. That was like 6 or 7 zealots that went down to those 2 widow mine hits. And now MC going to be falling back a little bit, but both players really, really getting out there and really hitting hard when it was the right time to hit hard. I mean, MMA just absolutely beautiful, beautiful stuff, and MC exactly the same. So every player, I mean, both players at the start, as I said, are being very, very touchy-feely, being very sort of probing each other, not really going in. But when they decided to go in, when they said, all right, I'm going to go in, they went in 100% and they hit with everything 100%. And that's really, really awesome. So they go in, they do beautiful hits, and then the instant it looks like it's not going to work out, they're out of there. And they're doing everything they can to sort of keep their army alive. But very, very nice job there. MMA so lucky there wasn't Stalkers defending there, just a bunch of zealots. So it's going to be falling back. Maybe going to go down here, go for the high ground, try and snipe some stuff. There is a High Templar waiting, so that could be very, very dangerous. Are we going to see these guys coming up on the top red? Does not look like it. Looks like they're just going to be falling back. Drop here, looks like that's going to be falling back. And MMA probing in 3 different directions to see if there are any weak spots. Doesn't look like he's finding any at this point. Yeah, nice little widow mine hit. Those zealots they do take quite a lot of damage from those widow mines. It's quite a lot. How much damage do those widow mines do? I can't see anymore. Where's a widow mine? How much damage do they do? 125 plus 35 per shields. So they do a crap load of damage to those shields. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, that is a lot. They almost killed the zealots in one shot, I think. Plus 35 to shields or something like that. Maybe they do one. I don't think they one-shot them, but it's got to be damn close to one-shotting them. I mean, it's always 135 plus 30, 125 plus 35 to shields. I don't know how that works. Does it do the 125 damage, and then if there's still shields, it does an extra 35? Or does it do the 35 first, and then 125 on what's left over? Because it's 125 and then plus 35, a total of 160, and these guys is potentially going to be one-shotting zealots, depending on how that damage is actually calculated. I'm really not sure. Oh, what a storm, but the storm... Oh! The tail end of that second storm did actually catch the medevac and destroy it. So they dodged the first storm by jumping into the medevac, but they could not dodge the second. So very, very nice. Very, very insane to storm a medevac into oblivion, but it was done there. And we are starting to see some Colossus on the field coming out. There's only 2 of them at the moment. It doesn't look like many more are coming out. So MC still heavily favouring that High Templar play. But he has got the Colossus out and is going to be going nuts with them to bring out the full amount of units. So we've got a total of 8 Vikings so far, with 3 more on the way. MMA with just the right amount of Vikings and building more. So he's looking very, very good in this game. Got a total of 13 ghosts as well, so he's not underestimating MC's love for the High Templar at this point. And here we go. Is he thinking about killing those rocks? Not sure, but... regardless, if he does, if he doesn't, there is going to be a nice little present waiting for MC the next time he decides to go and build a base there. Here we go. Oh, beautiful widow mine drops. Absolutely beautiful. And a whole lot of workers just died. That is nasty. Is he going to drop one at the top side here? Thinking about it, a storm goes down on the widow mine. Not quite enough to kill it, unfortunately, but storms it again, and it does go down. A couple of zealots getting in there, but there is a planetary, so they have absolutely no chance whatsoever. Widow mine getting blown up. This one still alive. This one, the one who did the damage and actually knocked him back down. 12 workers underneath now. He's going to get another hit. The observer comes, sees the widow mine, and the widow mine gets another 2 kills. In a nice little attack here. Not much of an attack. These guys going down. But MMA has shown his hand, has shown this massive army, and MC pulling back to the lower ground, which is interesting. He's flanking, but he's flanking on the lower ground, which is obviously not going to be the best situation to be flanking in, but we'll see. So many Vikings. Storms are landing on them. Storms are hurting them quite a lot. Look at them all grouped up here. They've taken out the 2 Colossus. They are going to be landing, and they land right into a storm, which is very, very nasty. Couple more Zealots going down here, and they are just absolutely wiping the floor with absolutely everything. So MMA was looking very, very good, but he had so many Vikings, and there was so little Colossus to actually do anything. So the Colossus went down in 2 seconds flat, and then the Zealots just mopped everything up. So MMA gonna have to jig his strategy just a little bit, I think, because he's, as a lot of Terran players do, and with good reason, they tend to focus a lot on countering the Colossus, because the Protoss player usually gets 5, 6 Colossus, and then they just annihilate everything, and the Terran player usually relies on that, gets a huge fleet of Vikings, and just starts owning them. But in this case, MC a lot more heavy on the High Templar, a decent amount heavy on the Zealots, and on the Colossus quite light. In fact, he does have 4 at the moment, so he's starting to get better, but in the previous battle only 2. So those Vikings were mostly wasted when it came to countering MC's actual ability to kill stuff, which came a lot from the Zealots, a lot from the High Templar, and not as much from the Colossus. But beautiful EMP hitting that front group of Zealots, and of course definitely a bad sign for those guys to be EMP'd, because it definitely does not help. I mean, those Zealots, I'm almost 100% sure that they could be one-shotted after they get EMP'd. Without the EMP, I'm still not sure if the Widowmines can one-shot them. It may be, but it seems so overpowered for a Widowmine to one-shot a Zealot. Really, really does. We're going to see here, though, that looks like, I think direct damage will one-shot a Zealot, and the splash damage, of course, doesn't. But, yeah. Because I can imagine a Widowmine hitting 10 Zealots and killing them all is extremely overpowered, so I don't think that's the case. But yeah, for now we do have this engagement, and now MC going for the ton of Colossus. There are a decent amount of Vikings though, and they are having a decently good go here. So MMA, after the previous engagement, may have thought, well, you know, Vikings, they're not going to be doing all that much because, you know, there was only 2 Colossus, but he's built up a decent amount anyway, and it has worked out, because MC has gone out for 4 Colossus this time, and it has, yeah, it definitely has worked putting those Vikings. But the rest of the ground force is still in there. The Zealots, of course, doing a phenomenal job. 3 armor and 2 weapons, quite phenomenal for the Zealots. They're going in, they're destroying a whole bunch of stuff. Not so much economy. No, they have done quite a bit of economy damage. I am mistaken. Killed quite a lot of things there. And both players actually been knocked back quite a bit. We got the income down here. MMA with a decent amount of army is going to push out for a nice counter. He's pushing out in the wrong direction though. He needs to be going out for this base. Needs to be absolutely annihilating that. Does know about the base, but just not going for it. So it's going to be interesting to see what he must be going for the main here. He's obviously, maybe he's thinking about this one, thinking about that base there, but there's nothing there. And so there we go. He's got to go out for the wing if he wants to do some damage. Obviously not going for the main because he's pulling back here. But that was an opportunity, moving his forces all the way across the map, then moving them back without doing anything. All that time allowed MC to rebuild somewhat of his army. And considering that MC does have more workers and he's not actually getting, he's getting more gas, but he's not getting more minerals because of all these mules coming out. But mules only last so long, and MC, the cheeky bastard, is actually going to try and get in here and do some damage. And if he can take out a lot of these guys, that is going to be phenomenally good. What is MMA doing here? Is he not moving in? I thought he would have been in by now, but he's only just coming in now. Where did all those workers go? I'm not sure. I think a lot of them may have died. Looks like at least 10 of them may have died. And here we go, the main army, or what remains of the main army, going in there and sort of getting torn apart. So once again, where are my units? Where's my army? MC actually losing quite a lot of army forces once again. and now he is falling back to this sort of base. So that push out to hit MMA's base in the middle, not sure if that was the best idea because he lost a lot of his army. I mean, MC was already ahead and he wanted to get even more ahead, but in doing so, he lost a lot of his army and he has opened this base up to getting owned by MMA. So I'm not sure if I agree with that strategy, because if this goes down, if he loses all of his workers, he is going to be in exactly the sort of crappy boat that MMA is at the moment. In fact, MC is going to be given the GG right here. Obviously feels like he doesn't have enough forces, and I'd have to agree with him. So yeah, what can we say? I mean, MC was behind on the army before he hit this base, but he was catching up fast. His economy was better. I mean, he had a lot of workers, a lot more workers than MMA, and he was sort of starting to catch up, get the army back, and I think he probably could have done, so he should have maybe held on, just held on a little bit, let the worker advantage sort of, come forward and get the army advantage, and then just start wiping MMA out. Because MMA didn't have a huge army. He had a bigger army than MC, but not a huge army. And instead, MMA went for the fast attack on this base, did some damage, although 10 workers, and his army kind of got crushed by MMA. He put himself in a vulnerable position, attacking a base with MMA's forces at his back, were coming in as he was attacking it, and yeah, MC lost more than MMA definitely, and MMA just cleaned up with the rest of his forces. So there we go. Great game from both players, and it looks like MMA is your victor here. So congratulations to him, and thank you very much for watching this game. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will catch you guys tomorrow. No, I won't. I'll catch you guys next week with another game. Stay tuned for that.